Hello everyone, this is Michael Anderson from IDlife.cash, and today I'm going to show you how to start your own LLC. Introduction to the LLC. In the business world, limited liability companies are seen as the latest hot thing. The limited liability company is a relatively new business ownership structure that combines the best features of the corporation and the partnership. It gives small business owners corporate-style protection from personal liability while retaining the pass-through income tax treatment enjoyed by sole proprietorships, the legal term for one-person businesses and partnerships. Sorry. Protection from personal liability. Often referred to as limited liability, means that creditors of the business cannot normally go after the owner's personal assets to pay LLC debts and claims arising from lawsuits. Pass-through tax treatment means that business profits are reported and taxed on the individual income tax returns of the business owners. I will explain what pass-through income tax is later on in this presentation. LLCs are everywhere. For me, the most convincing evidence that the LLC has indeed caught on as a popular small business legal entity is the fact that almost every day I notice more small businesses with the telltale LLC tag at the end of their business names. If you doubt this, just enter any big office building and look at the directory of tenants. You're bound to notice a good sprinkling of LLC businesses' names along with the traditional Inc. and Corp designators. One company that you might be familiar with is IDlife. Did you know that IDlife is an LLC? Well, it is. Pass-through taxation. So what is this pass-through taxation? LLCs typically do not pay taxes at the business level. Any business income or loss is passed through to owners and reported on their personal income tax returns. Any tax due is paid at the individual level. So you basically have three options when you're registering for your EIN, which is your employer identification number, is you can actually choose between three tax options, which are S corporation, C corporation, or partnership. I would choose partnership because then you can just report your earnings on your regular income tax. So basically, you can file all your profits as your personal income tax, no matter how big or small the profit. Pass-through taxation is actually a tax break because you only have to pay your regular income tax. And the best part is you get a tax return on any reported taxes. So you get all that money back. More on pass-through taxation. Like partnerships and sole proprietorships, an LLC is automatically recognized by the IRS as a pass-through tax entity. This term refers to the fact that all of the business's profits and losses pass through the business and are reflected in tax on the owner's individual tax returns. Why do so many business owners prefer pass-through taxation? For one, it's what most of us are used to. Every individual wage earner's salary is taxed this way. as are the profits earned by a sole proprietor or partnership. Another benefit of pass-through taxation. The alternate the alternative to pass-through taxation, which is corporate taxation, is too complicated for most small businesses. And to be honest, I would never want to register my LLC as an S corp or a C corp, because really the beauty of owning an LLC is you can actually choose to be taxed as a corporation, because an LLC is basically a hybrid. Um, it's a hybrid company. It's a mixture. An LLC is a corporation and a partnership combined. So think of it as like a corporation plus a sole proprietorship in one. So basically, it's a hybrid business structure. So basically, the corporate taxation is too complicated for most small businesses, at least when the business is in its startup phase, which is true. Um, the thing is with corporations is you have to fill out all of these. You have to fill out a bunch of fancy paperwork, and you have to like pay fees and all this other, all this other crazy stuff. So definitely don't register as a corporation. Don't do it. Don't do it unless you're like a millionaire, okay? Because only millionaires can really afford the corporation thing. And well, not just millionaires, people that are, kind of wealthy. For example, if you make $250,000 a year, then maybe a corporation taxation might be for you. Um, but I wouldn't suggest it. So, a corporation is treated as a separate taxable entity by the IRS. So, it doesn't just pass its profits through to its owners, instead, it pays tax on its own profits. And the owners pay tax on money the corporation pays them. So, basically, all the shareholders in a corporation have to pay tax too, not just the majority shareholders. Um, the majority shareholders, for example, would be Logan Stout if he owned a corporation. Troy Aikman, um, you know, the the guys who own most of the business are the majority shareholders. And then you have shareholders, which are partial, which own only certain percentages of the business or corporation per se. Um, the thing about being a shareholder is, um, if you don't actually have to, you don't actually have to pay your shareholders any money if someone buys a share in your company. And that's one of the big secrets about that's actually like a loophole and a big secret is you don't actually have to pay your shareholders dividends. Um, that's just something I learned in business school. I am a college student, and I actually attend the Forbes School of Business, and this one thing I learned is is corporations don't have to pay their shareholders any money. So that's pretty that's pretty much an unethical way to go. Because you got people who buy shares in your company and they want to make money, and then it turns out that you know they're not getting any money. Um, so let's move on. So basic LLC features. Now let's look more closely at the specific legal and tax characteristics that make the LLC so attractive and set it apart from other business ownership structures. As you'll see, most of the LLC's characteristics are shared by at least some of the other business structures. What makes the LLC unique is that it's the only business entity with its particular mix of legal and tax attributes. Most importantly, limited personal liability for LLC owners, which is the same legal protection that owners of a corporation enjoy. Um, and unless they elect otherwise, pass through taxation, like sole proprietors or the owners of a partnership. The legislators who thought up the LLC business structure were smart enough to realize that there was no need to reinvent the wheel. All they had to do was combine the best legal and tax aspects of the corporation and the partnership. So, like I said before, an LLC is basically a hybrid business structure, which basically is a corporation and a sole proprietor uh, business combined. So you get both the best of both worlds with the LLC. And you know what I really like about LLCs is, well, I personally own my own LLC. I wouldn't make this slideshow if I didn't. Okay. Um, the awesome thing is that you don't have to have quarterly meetings. With a corporation, you have to have meetings um, at every quarterly earnings. So there's 4 quarters in a year, so you have to have a meeting 4 times a year, which is really inconvenient if you're a small business. So if since you're a small business, LLC is the way to go. If you're looking to be big business like Walmart, McDonald's, um, Microsoft, then getting a corporation business is the way to go. But if you're just doing IDlife as a business, then LLC is the way to go. More basic features. Um, contrary to what you may have just contrary to what you may have read just a few years ago, you can now form an LLC with just one person in any state. So basically, you can form an LLC by yourself, and you can make 100% profit um, for yourself. Now, with my LLC, which is Familia Enterprises LLC, my dad is an LLC member, which is an owner. They call the members owners. Well, my dad owns 25% of um, the company, and I own 75% of the company. Um, so any income that I make from IDlife, I have to give 25% to my dad, and my dad doesn't have to do anything. which is cool. That way, if you have like kids or something, or any other family members, you can always um, pass down the LLC through your family. So ID Life can be like a family business kind of thing, if you know what I mean. So there's no maximum number of owners, and an LLC can have, for practical reasons, you'll probably want to keep, well, for practical reasons, you'll probably want to keep the group reasonably small, um, just because um, if it's owned and operated by more than about 5 people, there's serious risks and problems maintaining good communication and reaching consensus among the owners. So basically, the more owners you have, um, the more owners you have, the less communication. Your communication is probably going to be really bad. So if I was you, I would just do what I did, and just register like 2 people or maybe 3 people, depending on what kind of family you have. If you're like a single parent, um, I would register yourself, and then maybe you can add your sons or daughters to the LLC. So you get like 80%, and they get 20. And they get 20%. That's a reasonable amount to give your children. Um, once you start making a lot of money with um, ID Life. And another secret is the LLC is the key secret to making a lot of money. Um, the reason it's the key secret to making a lot of money is because um, basic. I'm trying to come up with something. Basically, the reason why the LLC is a big secret is because it offers so many benefits, like the tax benefits, um, the business benefits, um, and stuff like that. So, the benefits of owning an LLC. First, you get protected assets. LLCs provide limited liability protection to their owners, who are typically not personally responsible for the business debts and liabilities of the LLC. So basically, creditors cannot pursue the personal assets such as houses, savings accounts, etc. of the owners to pay business debts. So basically, any creditor, they can't come after your personal assets, such as your personal bank account, um, your house, your kids' college trust funds, um, your car, your clothing, your TV. Basically, any personal asset that you own. It can't be repoed. The repo man won't show up at your door just because you have. Sorry, I just had to get a drink of water. I've been talking for a while. And by the way, thanks for staying tuned in on this slideshow. I really appreciate it. So basically, the repo man won't. The repo man, he can't come and take your stuff away, and that is the beauty of the LLC. That even if your business fails, or you go into debt, or you go bankrupt, you still have your personal assets, such as your savings accounts, your house. So here's another loophole that I know. Let's say that since the LLC, since the LLC um is a pass-through taxation entity, I want to tell you why they call it an entity. It's because a company is basically a legal person. It can do anything that a person can do. Seriously. A company, a corporation, an LLC can do anything that a regular person can do. It can write checks in its name, in the business's name. So if my business is IDlife LLC, I can write checks in the name of the business. I can purchase stuff in the name of the business, etc., etc. And I never have to use my actual information. I can always just use my LLC um, to pay for everything. So, oh yeah, I was going to tell you a loophole that I know. So let's say you make $50 million a year, right? And let's say you put that into your personal savings account, right? So this is where the protection comes from. Well, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to transfer um, that income to your personal bank account, because I'm not sure about this, but I think if you own um, a business um, bank account, they can probably come after that. Um, so anyway, the loophole here is transfer any income straight away to your personal savings account or checking account, and that money, that $50 million that I'm talking about, is safe. No one can touch it. So if someone tries to sue you or anything like that, then they're going to have to deal with um, the legal protection of the LLC. And that's called, and there's only one way to go, there's only one way for someone to go after your personal assets, and it's very rare that a lawyer can do that. It's very rare that a lawyer can go after your person. Well, in business lingo, in business terms, it's called piercing the corporate veil, and that's when um, a lawyer um, takes you to court and tries to get money from your personal assets. But the LLC protects your assets. So the corporate veil, they call it piercing the corporate veil. So if a lawyer can pierce the corporate veil, then they can take money from your personal assets, or your house or your car, or any um, assets that you have. So that's called piercing the corporate veil. which the LLC protects you from. Like I said again, it's very rare that a lawyer has the power to pierce the corporate veil, so you don't have to worry about nothing. All right. Well, except well, if you start, another good thing about the LLC is that I haven't put on the slideshow. I know I'm just talking right now, but another good thing is that you can also hire people. So let's say your IDlife business starts booming, right? And you're making, let's just say you're making $1 million a year. Hey, it's possible. There's millionaires in other in other network marketing companies. IDlife is only a year old, and there's so much opportunity to become a millionaire that it's insane not to even start your own LLC. Um, so anyway, um, what was I saying? Um, anyway, I forget what I was going to say, but uh, sorry guys, I just forgot what I was going to say. So I'm going to move on. Um, Another benefit is you get a heightened credibility. Forming an LLC may help a new business establish credibility with potential customers, employees, vendors, and partners because they see that you have made a formal commitment to your business. Now, what I'm going to show you, oops, I'm going to show you something later on, and I'll show you what I mean that an LLC gives you credibility. So let's see. I guess there's nothing really else to talk about on this one that I haven't already talked about. So how else would an LLC benefit an IDlife associate? Now I'm going to be honest, an IDlife associate is really just an affiliate. And an affiliate is really just an affiliate is really just an employee of the company that is basically a salesperson. Um, but when you own your own LLC, that is the real deal because you will actually own your own company and you will actually be able to call yourself a real business owner. Um, so once you get the LLC, that's when you can call yourself an IDlife business owner. I know that IDlife uses business owner to market their affiliate program. Like they market it as the business builder kit. They just do that, um, just to make you feel like you're part of something important and special. They, you know what I mean? They just want you to have a positive outlook on the company, and I don't blame them for doing it. Um, but to be honest, you don't actually own your own business when you sign up with IDlife. Um, but the good thing is you can always get an LLC, and then you can own your own business. So also you get your own EIN, which is an employer identification number. Um, this can be used instead of your social security number when it comes to opening business bank accounts and filing tax returns. Um, Also, when IDlife sends you a W-9 form every year, you can put in your EIN number, and you don't, and any taxes or debts won't be charged to your personal social security number. So basically, an employer identification number or EIN basically replaces your social security number. And that's the beauty of having an LLC. Um, so what else? Oh yeah, you can always hire employees. Um, once your business starts getting big, and you need like a receptionist or something, or somebody like that. Somebody to go get your Starbucks coffee in the morning. Um, so what else? So what does a business actually look like? Um, Besides like the brick and mortar, physical business, like the corporate headquarters, a business is really just a legal document filed with the Secretary of your state. Once the Secretary of State gives your business application the stamp of approval, then you officially can call yourself a business owner. So, final notes. Most of the information I presented to you can be found in Nolo's Quick LLC Guide, which I am going to let you download for free. To download Nolo's Quick LLC Guide, go to idlife.cash/ebooks, and it should be there for download. Um, so that's basically it. Um, I'm going to show you what I mean um, when it comes to um, owning your own business. So let's say a person goes to contact you on your IDlife website. So my name is Cash, and my business is Familia Enterprises LLC. See, just with having an LLC just makes your whole, IDlife business look very credible to someone who is new and wants to get involved with the company. So that's basically it. So how do I get my LLC? Or how do you get an LLC? Or how can you get an LLC? Um, let's see. First what I would recommend is to go to LegalZoom.com. This is LegalZoom is the company that I registered my LLC with, and it only took 15 days to do all the legal work and stuff. So go to LegalZoom.com, then go to LLC and click Get Started. As you can see, oh sorry, let me go back. As you can see, it's $149 plus the state filing fee, which I don't know how much the state filing fee is because every state has their own certain filing fee amount. Um, so it's $149 plus the state filing fee, and it comes out to about 300 about 300 and something dollars um, at the end. So I'm going to walk you through this. I'm going to walk you through here real quick um, and show you how to register your limited liability company. So let's get started. So it says, where are you forming your business? I chose Pennsylvania. It says um, save and continue. Um, what will your business be doing? So since it is a network marketing business, well, since IDlife is a network marketing and health business, I would probably choose. Hmm, I would probably just choose other. No, I just put network marketing. Um, so because it can apply to anything. It's your business. Okay. What is your business is your business. What you do with your business is your business. What you do with your business is none of my business because it's your business, not my business. And what I do with my business is my business and not your business. So let's move on. I I put network marketing down. So are you forming a professional LLC? No. That would only apply to like um uh that would only apply to like doctor offices or like accounting firms and architecture and stuff like that. So you don't need a professional LLC. So choose no. Um, how many owners will your business have? When I signed up my LLC, I chose two, and like I said, if you have kids or something, go with the 80-20 rule. Give them 20. Down the road when they're old enough, when they're like 18 years old, and they want to be part of the family IDlife business, they're gonna want to you know, it's something good to give them. They can get a lot of good experience being part of the business. So I chose two owners, which was my dad and I. Are you forming a new business? Yes. And then there's another option. It says no. I'm converting my existing business into an LLC. Had to get a drink of water. Been talking a lot. If you haven't noticed. Um. So let's say you want to convert your existing business, for example, your corporation into an LLC. You can certainly do that. Or if you have a uh, proprietorship business, then you can convert that to an LLC. So it asks you more questions. Will your business have employees in the next 12 months? Um, I would choose no because it's going to take more than 12 months, to start making a lot of money with IDlife. Um, it's just realistic to put no. Unless you're making like $1 million a year, which is attainable. then I would click yes. But anyway, what will be the end of your business fiscal year? Uh, I would, I chose December 31st because that's the end of the year. Um, so you can choose that. So what is the address of your business? Um, Now here's a secret that I want you guys to know. You know how you always see those work from home ads? It says make hundreds of dollars working from home. Well, guess what? You can register your business as your home address. How about that one? Can I get a high five and an amen to that? See, Michael Anderson does not let down his fellow ID lifers. I tell you the truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. So finally, you can actually say that, yeah, I have a legal, legitimate business. It's registered to my house, and basically, my house is my office and my home. So that's how I do it because I have a desk and a laptop, and that's basically all I need, and a printer. Um, so basically, you can work out of home. It is possible for those who thought that it was a scam. And the good thing is, there's no there's no laws that say that you can't run a network marketing business out of your own home. Um, so that is a plus. So I'm just gonna put down my address here. Um, I don't care if you know where I live because um, it's also my business. My home. My home is my business. My office. Um, so since it is my home address, it is also my business address. So I don't really care. Uh, so what is the name of your business? You get two options. If option one, if your first option, if your first choice, sorry, if your first choice isn't available, then type in a second choice. So if your first business name that you want isn't available, say you want like IDlife IDlife Mike LLC, um, or IDlife Tony LLC, or IDlife Girl, or IDlife Guy LLC, and that's not available. Well, just um, I'm just gonna put in IDlife Mike LLC, and my second option would be IDlife Mike Enterprises LLC. So now that that is done, it says, "Will you be doing business under another name?" No. I don't know why you would need to do that. So next, it asks who is involved with your business. Okay. Basically, it asks who will run. I mean, who will own the LLC? Who will manage day-to-day operations? Who will act as the legal registered agent? Who should happen if an owner leaves or a new owner joins the business? So let's get to this part. Owner 1. So that would be you. You're owner 1. So I'm going to type in my name. owner one. And here's the cool part. You get to choose what position in the business hierarchy that you want to be. So the first option I chose was Chief Executive Officer because that is the boss of the bosses. Okay, all the Chief Executive Officer is like being the president. Um, you get to you have all the power of the company, and you can tell all your other employees what to do. And then, so let's spell the name wrong. Alright, so let's say you add your kids. I'm only 25, so I don't have any kids. So I'm just going to put Michael Jr. Or if you have a wife, I'm just going to put Lisa. Lisa is actually, hold on a second, I need another drink of water. Lisa is actually my favorite woman from the movie Weird Science. I don't know why I just told you that, but anyway. So let's say I add my wife Lisa, and I make her. Oh, here's a new one: a chairwoman. That's that's a cool title to have. So let's give my wife the title of being the chairwoman. All right, there you go, boy. All right. So let's move on to the next. Okay. So, how is ownership divided? Ownership will be measured in percentages. So choose that one. Don't choose units. It just is kind of. I just think it's really stupid to use units because it's not a corporation and you can't have shareholders. So there's no point of using units. So right here, as you can see, I own 50% of the business, and my wife Lisa, she owns 50%. So we're splitting the profits 50-50. And by the way, when you sign up for IDlife, it actually asks for your business name. We can look at that real quick if you want. I'm just going to show you that. And again, I just want to thank you guys for really watching this video. It means a lot to me. I know I'm not like the best speaker, but I try. So I'm going to click Join IDlife. So I'm going to show you. Let's go. I'm just going to select the Business Builder Kit because that's what most people get. I'm going to click Next. Alright, now where it says Join IDlife, it said you get to choose I'm registering as an individual or a business. Once you get your LLC, choose business. Because then, you know, then you can split the profits with your wife or your children or whoever uh, wants to be part of the business. Um, so do that. Choose business when you sign up. Um, so that's what I wanted to show you. And your tax ID is your EIN, which you can get online. You can just go to the IRS website and they'll give you your tax ID online. Um, but you have to visit it. You can't visit it at 12 at night. You can only get your tax ID during working hours. So anyway, let's go back to LegalZoom.com. So I own 50% and Lisa, my wife, owns 50%. Uh, what are the rules regarding transfer of ownership? So this is required for any owner to sell, give, or otherwise transfer any portion of their ownership stake in the business. So let's say Lisa doesn't want to be part of the business anymore and she wants to transfer, or say we get a divorce. I know that's like a negative Nancy kind of thing to say. I'm all about pro marriage, not pro divorce. But let's just say Lisa and I get a divorce. Then um, I can say I can choose that consent is required by all owners to transfer her 50% stake in the business to me, which will give me 100%. Um, but uh, so that's basically how that works. And I'm not like the best. I'm not like the best. You know, speaker. So just give me some slack here. Cut me some slack. Um, so who will manage your business? Now the awesome thing about the LLC is you can choose your business to be managed by all of the owners or just one owner. So let's say that I'm doing all the work, right? And Lisa, she works a full-time job and I do the IDlife business full time. But I still give her 50% because she invested 50% into the business. Um, so you can choose all owners, or by not all owners, uh, by both owners and other managers, and by other managers only. Um, so I'm trying to think here. What would be a good option? Alright, I'm just gonna say by manage it by all owners. Who cares, right? Lisa can do some work. Um, I don't want to be the only one doing all the work. Lisa can at least help out at, the Ideal Life mixers. Okay, now here's a really important part of this. It says who will be the registered agent. Um, all that really is is do whatever you do, don't choose LegalZoom to be your registered agent because then you got to pay $159. Basically, all a registered agent is basic. All it is an address where you get where all your business mail gets sent to. And honestly, I don't want my personal business mail being sent to LegalZoom. Um, I want my business mail to come to my house, so I'm going to choose I will name. So I'm going to choose I will name the registered agent and click continue. And then it asks you to enter the name of the registered agent. Um, Type in your information. So I'm going to type in my address. It doesn't matter who the well, it does matter, but it doesn't matter if you're the registered agent. Which, again, it only means that the registered agent is the address that all your business mail gets sent to. That's basically all it is. Okay, let's see. Alright, that's done. So I just saved $159 plus. Okay, now it says, do you want help getting a federal tax ID, or EIN? A federal tax ID is an EIN, which is an employer identification number. We talked about this earlier in the presentation. Um, Click no thanks, because then you have to pay them a fee, which is like $79. It says, don't do it, because you can just go to the IRS website and do it for free, and it gives you your federal tax ID right on the spot, and all you have to do is print it out and keep it filed away somewhere important. Keep it in your safe or something like that, or wherever you want to keep your business documents. Do you want a free consultation on reducing your taxes? No, we don't need that anymore, right? Um, Now set up your business for success. Okay, basically they're just offering you a bunch of, you know, additional services. Um, it says choose a compliant package. Uh, Let me see what this is. Give me a moment. Oh, so basically, uh, the compliance package is LegalZoom will, send a letter to the state of Pennsylvania's uh, every year for you. But the good thing is, with an LLC, you don't have to you don't have to send any compliance to them every year. The only thing you would have to do is send them your taxes, and stuff like that. Um, so choose no thanks. I will do the compliance work myself. They want to charge you $299 just to. That's ridiculous. But that's just business for you. Some people are completely clueless about how to run their business, so they just choose all the options. But I'm just helping you out so you can save money. Okay, so let's see here. So as a business owner, you're responsible for making your business proper federal, state, and local permits to operate legally to make your job easier. Like I, like I said again, since it's a network marketing business, you can work from home and you don't need any special licenses or permits to work from home um, as a network marketer. So don't choose that option. Any of there's two options. Don't choose them. It saves you $79. Let's see what else they want. Now they're just offering like extra crap, which is kind of annoying because just click no. I decline this offer. Uh, they're offering me a Bank of America business account, business checking account, which I don't want. It's something you might be interested in, but I'm just going to choose no, I'm not interested at this time. And then it says apply for a business card. It's something, if you have good credit and you want to apply for a business card, why not? Um, but I'm not going to, so I'm not going to choose that option. Then they offer you a domain name and a free website. Um, actually, if you want a website and um, if you want a website and cheap hosting, um, just just contact me, send me an email, or go to my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/ Mike Stardust, or email me at mike@idlife.com, and I'll actually set up a website for you, and I will actually set you up so you don't gotta pay for all this crap. So I'm just gonna click no thanks. Alright, so basically here's an overview, a review of the details of IDlife Mike LLC. Let's see. So basically this just goes over everything. And I know it's a long application, but it's worth it. So you can choose the economy package, the standard package, or the express gold package. Um, to be honest, um, I would just go with the economy package because actually because they say that you don't get the same, because they actually don't tell no one I told you this, but when I chose the economy package, they gave me everything that they give you in the express gold package. And I was like, what? That's crazy. And so you don't need the express gold package or the standard because they give you everything that they give you in the express gold package and the standard package. So choose economy, which is $149. Definitely save you some money. So the Pennsylvania filing fee. Remember, that's the state filing fee I was talking about, which is the 149, which is it's $149 to that it's $149 for legal Zoom to do all the work for you, plus $160. Let me get out a calculator. Yes, I have Windows 8. Awesome. If you know how to use it, try to use a calculator. Alright, so let's see. Let's make sure the math is working out right here. 149 plus 160. Uh, that comes out to 309 plus 995 for shipping and handling, and that comes out to 318.95. And there you go, 318.95. Um, and that's how much I paid for my business. Um, and you get an option to do one single payment of $318.95, or you can do three monthly payments of $108.32. If you're strapped for cash, I would just do three monthly payments, but make sure you pay them because they are LegalZoom, and you probably don't want to piss off LegalZoom because they're one of the most credible legal companies around. So make sure you pay your monthly payments if you choose that option. So I'm just going to choose single payment, $318.95, which is awesome because in if if you were to go to a lawyer to do it for you, they would probably charge you so much money. They would probably charge you at least $2,000. I'm not gonna lie. The lawyer, if you would get a lawyer to do this for you, they would charge you insane amounts of money. So you're only paying $318.95, and that is thanks to me. And remember to go back in this video to um, I'm really losing it right now. I've been talking so much. Um, remember to go back in the video if needed to look for how I helped to look for the ways I helped you save money. For example, don't choose them to be your registered agent, etc., etc. You know what I mean. So I'm going to click continue to check out. This is the last and final bit of the application process. It is a long application. Um, it is a long application, but it's so worth it. I can't express, it is so worth the money. Only $318. LegalZoom says you just saved $551. That's how much you would pay close to $1,000 to $2,000 if you hired a lawyer to do it for you. So basically, here's the last page. Type in your contact information and your billing information, and that's pretty much it. Then you click agree and place order, and that's how you start a business. And so, yeah, that's how you start a business. So good luck with that. And if you have any questions or you need any help, you know, just go to my Facebook or send me an email or call me. I'm a really shy guy, so if you call me, um, you know, be nice to me because I'm really shy. Um, so that's basically it. Um, so I hope you enjoyed this presentation. I know it wasn't like the best presentation, but it was a presentation, and I did help you a lot. I hope I helped you a lot. I really do. Um, So yeah, uh, enjoy your new business if you decide to go that path, and have a blessed day.